time. But be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and all of that. But let's go ahead and get started. So, guess that Pokemon ASMR, first card of the video. This Pokemon is an electric type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 877, and that is 877. This is a two-sided Pokemon. That's all the hints I can give you right now. That's all the hints I can give you right now. I'll give you a few seconds. 1, 2, 3. If you guessed Morpeko, then you are 1 for 1. Let's go to the next one. Next Pokemon is also an electric type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 179, and that is 179. And this is a wool Pokemon, and that was a wool Pokemon. I'll give you a few seconds to guess. I think this one is very easy. If you guessed Mareep, then you would be 2 for 2. Next Pokemon. This is a psychic Pokemon, and that was a psychic Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 1016. That is 1016. 1016. And this is a retainer Pokemon. I'll give you a few seconds. If you guessed Fizandipity, then you would be correct. Next Pokemon is a water type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 912. That is 912. That was 912. This Pokemon is a duckling Pokemon. If you guessed Quaxley, then you would be correct. How are you doing so far? Are you 4 for 4? Drop down below. Let's keep going. Next, this Pokemon is a water type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 342. That is 342. That was 342. This Pokemon is a rogue Pokemon. That was a rogue Pokemon. I'll give you a few seconds. If you guessed Groudon, then you would be right. And that was Groudon. If you guessed Groudon, you would be right. Next Pokemon is a fire type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 609. That was 609. This Pokemon is a luring Pokemon, and that was a luring Pokemon. This is a Halloween edition Pokemon as well. If you guessed Chandelier, then you would be right. Next Pokemon. This is a grass type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 43. That is 43. That was 43. This is a weed Pokemon, and that was a weed Pokemon. If you guessed Oddish, you got it right. Next Pokemon is a starless Pokemon, and that was a starless Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 137. That is 137. 137. This is a virtual Pokemon. And that was a virtual Pokemon. If you guessed You can say colorless. Colorless, starless. We'll go colorless. This is a colorless Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 819. That is 819. That was 819. This Pokemon is a cheeky Pokemon. That is cheeky. Cheeky. Cheeky Pokemon. If you guessed, Skyvent, you will be right. Next Pokemon is also a colorless Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 206. That is 206. And this Pokemon is a land snake Pokemon. And that was a land snake Pokemon. I'll give you a quick second. If you guessed Dunsparce, then you would be right. Next Pokemon is a grass type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 214, and that is 214. Once again, that was 214, 214. This Pokemon's type is a single horn Pokemon, and that was a single horn Pokemon. If you guessed Heracross, then you will be correct. Next Pokemon is also a grass type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 811. That was 811. Once again, that was 811. This Pokemon is a beat Pokemon. This Pokemon is classified as a beat Pokemon. I'll give you a quick second. Ready? If you guessed Thwacky, then you will be right. Alright. Next Pokemon is a metal type Pokemon, and that was a metal type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 227. That is 227. And this is an armor bird Pokemon. Once again, that is an armor bird Pokemon. I'll give you a few seconds. If you guessed Skarmory, then you will be correct. Next Pokemon is a colorless Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 352. That is 352. Once again, that is 352. This Pokemon is a color swap Pokemon. This Pokemon is classified as a color swap Pokemon. I'll give you 2 seconds to guess. Alright, if you guessed Glaceon, if you guess Glaceon, you will be correct. Next Pokemon is a colorless Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 676. Once again, that is 676. This Pokemon is a poodle. This Pokemon is a poodle type Pokemon. This Pokemon is a poodle type Pokemon. I'll give you a second. If you guessed Furfor, then you would be correct. Next Pokemon is a fighting type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 744. That was 744. This Pokemon is a puppy Pokemon. This Pokemon is classified as a puppy Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 92. That is 92. This Pokemon is classified as a gas Pokemon. Once again, this Pokemon is classified as a gas Pokemon. Ready? If you guessed Ghastly, then you would be right. Next Pokemon is a water type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 351, and that was 351. This is a weather type Pokemon. This Pokemon is categorized as a weather type Pokemon. I'll give you a second to guess. Ready? If you guessed gas form, if you guessed gas form, snowy form, then you would be correct. Bonus points on the snowy form, but if you got gas form right, you know what you're talking about. Next Pokemon is a psychic type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 353. Once again, that is 353. This Pokemon is classified as a puppet Pokemon. A second to guess. Ready? If you guessed Shuppet, got it right. This Pokemon is a grass type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 762. That is 762. This Pokemon is classified as a fruit Pokemon, and that was a fruit Pokemon. I'll give you a second. Ready? Alright. If you guess Steenie, you got it. This Pokemon is a fighting type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 231. That is 231. This Pokemon is classified as a long-nosed Pokemon. This one should be relatively easy. If you guessed Vampy, you got that right. This next Pokemon is a psychic type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 280. That is 280. Once again, that is 280. This Pokemon is classified as a feeling Pokemon, and that was a feeling Pokemon. I'll give you a second. This one is relatively easy as well. If you guessed Ralts, you got that. Next Pokemon is a psychic type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 856, and that was 856. Once again, that is 856. This Pokemon is a calm Pokemon. It is classified as a calm Pokemon. Take that second to guess what it is. Got your answer ready? Alright, let's do this. Hatenna. If you guessed Hatenna, you got that. Alright, next Pokemon is a fire type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 351. Once again, that was 351. This Pokemon is considered a weather Pokemon. This Pokemon is considered a weather Pokemon. I'll give you a second. I'll give you a hint. We went over this Pokemon already. Hope that helps. Ready? If you guessed gas form, sunny form, you get bonus points for the sunny form. But if you got gas form, then you got it right. You should be proud of yourself. This next Pokemon is a psychic type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 281. Once again, that is 281. This Pokemon is an emotion Pokemon. This Pokemon is classified as an emotion Pokemon. Give you a second. Got it? Sure, let's do it. If you guess Curlina, you got it right. Curlia. This next Pokemon is a water type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 361. That is 361 if you missed it. This Pokemon is classified as a Snow Hat Pokemon, and that was a Snow Hat Pokemon. Ready? We're going quick now. This Pokemon, if you guessed Snorunt, then you got that right. Next Pokemon is a fighting type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 739. That is 739. This Pokemon is a boxing Pokemon. It is classified as a boxing Pokemon. This one seems like it is a little difficult to get, but if you get this one, you know what you're talking about. Ready? If you guess Crop Brawler, you got that. That one would even stoop me a little bit, so if you got that one, I'm proud of you. Next, this Pokemon is a psychic type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 79. This Pokemon's number is 79. That is 79. This is a dopey Pokemon. This Pokemon is classified as a dopey Pokemon. I'll give you a hint. This Pokemon is the version of this Pokemon is a Galarian Pokemon. Let's go ahead. I'll give you a few seconds. If you guessed Galarian Slowpoke, if you guess Galarian Slowpoke, if you guess Galarian Slowpoke, then you got that right. All you needed to get was Slowpoke. So I'm proud of you if you did. If you didn't, let's go ahead and keep trying. You got this. Next card is a grass type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 459. That is 459. This Pokemon is a Frost Tree Pokemon, and that was a Frost Tree Pokemon. I'll give you a couple seconds. If you guessed Snover, you got it. Next Pokemon is a dark Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 442. That is 442. This Pokemon is classified as a forbidden Pokemon, and that was a forbidden Pokemon. I'll give you a quick second to catch back up. If you guessed Spirit Tomb, you got it. Down to the last two for now. Let's go ahead. So this Pokemon is a fighting type Pokemon. Number is 740. That was 740. Once again, that was 740. This Pokemon is a woolly crab Pokemon. This Pokemon, like I said, is classified as a woolly crab Pokemon. I'll give you a second. If you guess Crabinable, you got that. That one would even stump me. I don't think I've ever seen that Pokemon. Alright, getting down to the last few. This next Pokemon is a psychic type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 711. Once again, that is 711. This Pokemon is classified as a pumpkin Pokemon, and that was a pumpkin Pokemon. I'll give you a second. And this Pokemon card is a Halloween edition, if that helps. Ready? If you guess Gorgas, you got that. Next Pokemon also is a Halloween edition Pokemon. This Pokemon's attribute is a fire type. This Pokemon's number is 909. That is 909. Once again, that was 909. This Pokemon is a Fire Grog Pokemon. It is classified as a Fire Grog Pokemon. If you guessed Fuecoco, you got that right. This next Pokemon is an electric type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 25. That is 25. Once again, that is 25. This Pokemon is classified 273. Once again, that is 273. This Pokemon is classified as an acorn Pokemon. Once again, this Pokemon is classified as an acorn Pokemon. Give you a second. If you guessed C-Dot, you got that right. This next Pokemon is a colorless Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 506. Once again, that is 506. This also is classified as a puppy Pokemon, and that was a puppy Pokemon. And if classified as a puppy Pokemon, I'll give you a quick second. But if you guessed Lollipop, you got it. Next Pokemon is a dragon type Pokemon. First one of this video. This Pokemon's number is 371, and that was 371. This Pokemon is classified as a rock-head Pokemon, and that was a rock-head Pokemon. I'll give you a second. This one might throw a couple people off. Ready? If you guessed, back on. You got that. This Pokemon is a fire type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 667. Once again, that is 667. This Pokemon is classified as a lion cub Pokemon, and that was a lion cub Pokemon. Quick second. Let's go. If you guess Litleo, you got that right. Next Pokemon also is a fire type Pokemon. This Pokemon number is 494, and that was 494. Once again, that was 494. This Pokemon is classified as a victory Pokemon, and that was a victory Pokemon. Very, very popular Pokemon in my opinion. Hope that gave away and help you get it. But if you guessed Victini, then you got that. Down to the last two. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, all that if you want to see more of these Guess the Pokemon long form videos. But this next Pokemon, this second to last Pokemon is a fighting type Pokemon. This Pokemon number is 843, and that was 843. 843. This Pokemon is classified as a sand snake Pokemon, and that was a sand snake Pokemon. Quick second for that. Ready? I'm ready. Let's do it. If you guessed Silly Cobra, then you got that. Last card of the video. Let's go ahead and take this with a bang. Let's finish out strong. This Pokemon is a grass type Pokemon. This Pokemon's number is 585. Once again, that is 585. I'll repeat it again. That is 585. This Pokemon is classified as a seasoned Pokemon, and that was a seasoned Pokemon. I'll give you a second since this is the last card. Before we go ahead and announce this card, please think about like, comment, and subscribe like I just mentioned. If you want to see more content like this and you enjoy and want to check out other videos on the channel, we'll really appreciate it. That's the only way that I know if you like the video and you comment that I know that you want to see more. But let's go ahead and end this video with a bang. If you guessed Deerling, then you ended the video on a great note. That's gonna be the end of the video here. Like I said, this was so fun to make. I'm used to making them in short form, but the long form isn't amazing as well. So we got a lot more cards in my collection. I anticipate doing more. So if you want to see a part 2, go ahead. You know what to do. But until then, it has been your man. Comments. ASMR, and we'll see some more short form Pokemon videos in the future. But check out other videos on the screen. But I'll see you on the next one.